Financial success isn't just about the money. In fact, money is only part of the answer. If you want to get the most out of life as well as your money, you need to consider some additional factors outside of just accumulating money. In this video, I'm going to talk about 4 key factors that you need to address if you want to achieve true financial and life success. So, what do you say we discuss the fundamentals of achieving life as well as financial success? Hello again, Mark here with Money Fundamentals, where we give you the essential money knowledge you need for life. Just watch TV or visit any number of financial websites and you'll see that achieving financial success is easy. All you have to do is find the perfect investment and you're good to go. Partner with that one financial advisor who has special insight no one else has. Search for online financial planning and let the internet handle your money. Or how about this? Follow a simple rule of thumb and keep 100 minus your age in bonds. Or, hey, just save 10% of your income and you'll be fine. Or this one, win the lottery. Take your pick. There's so many money-focused tips, tools, systems, and rules of thumb out there, it's enough to drive you crazy. But there's a problem. While most of these tips are based on good intentions, they're only focused on the numbers. So it's easy to see why people fall into the numbers trap. Our society is so focused on money, it only makes sense to start with solutions that just work the numbers. Well, here's a secret. There's so much more to financial and life success. While most of the financial advice available in the media and from many financial advisors says that financial success is determined by how much money you have, it's simply not true. While the numbers and how much money you have are important, they ultimately only account for a portion of your overall long-term financial success. So what's the rest of the equation? Well, how about aligning your behaviors towards your money with your financial goals? Your numbers they can look fantastic, but that won't mean anything if your behaviors and attitudes towards money are completely out of whack. Need proof? Well, we've all dreamed of winning the lottery, but according to the National Endowment for Financial Education, 70% of people who win the lottery or get a big windfall end up broke within a few years. That's 7 out of every 10 lottery winners who thought their lives were set after winning it big. Well, they probably would have been just fine if they had a greater understanding of the direct relationship between behavior and financial success. The good news is that you can avoid this fate by 1, knowing who you are when it comes to money, taking control of your present to maximize your future, reimagining your life and what you really want out of it, and then finally building a self-sustaining process that naturally leads to continual growth, clarity, and happiness. Now, over my 20 plus years as a financial planner, I've worked with people all across the spectrum to help them address these parts of the financial and lifestyle design that are so important to long-term success, but that are often overlooked. Understanding these principles will help you develop a specific path that optimizes your level of happiness, sense of well-being, and ultimately determines whether your 30 years older self is proud of what you've accomplished or perhaps filled with regret with what you didn't accomplish. Here are the 4 key concepts. 1, live your values. To have long-term life and financial success, you first need to define who you are as a person and how you relate to and behave around money. In other words, your financial values and habits. What is really important to you and how can you use money to help you get there? What are your values? What is it that gets you excited about life? What's most important to you? Now you'll have to dig a couple layers below the surface to discover what is really motivating you. Is it family? Building a legacy? Supporting a cause you believe in? Something else? Here's something to consider. as you work to decide what is truly important to you. In the book titled 30 Lessons for Living by Carl Pilmer, and there's a link to the book in the description below, he asked 1,000 elderly Americans for the most important lessons that they've learned in life. Not a single one said that to be happy, you needed to work as hard as possible to earn more money to buy things. Not a single one said that it's important to be as wealthy as the people around you. And not a single one said you should choose your work based on how much you can earn. What they did value were things like quality friendships, being part of something bigger than themselves, and spending quality, unstructured time with their children and family. So think about those things as you work on your own set of values. And once you define what those values are that are most important to you, it's time to see how your money behaviors either support or sabotage those values. Things like, are you taking one step forward and towards your goals and then taking 2 steps backwards due to your money behaviors? Are your day-to-day, month-to-month, and year-over-year financial habits aligned with your values? Ask yourself those questions. Okay, number 2, meet your obligations. Now, defining your values is important. That's why it was the first step. But before you can build the life of your dreams, you need a solid foundation. This foundation needs to be based on an honest assessment of your current financial position with all its challenges and opportunities. And you're doing this to make sure you have a strong base to begin building the life that you want. Now, this is the reality check that many people tend to ignore because it's where a lot of the hard work takes place. Now, while it can be challenging to kind of stare down the reality of your situation, it's a necessary component and part of the process. So here are some things to consider no matter where you are in life at the current time. Your emergency fund. The goal should be 3 to 6 months, but at least a minimum of $2,000. No matter your values, you need at least a small amount of cash set aside to cover things if needed. Second thing, monthly cash flow. Are you spending more than you make and funding your lifestyle on credit, or is there money left over at the end of the month that can be assigned to the various goals that are important to you? And are you building the habits necessary to allow you to use money as a tool, or are you controlled by the money in your life, depending on it to save you from yourself? The third factor is achieve your dreams. Now, once the process of understanding who you are and where you are financially is complete, you've worked through that, you will have the confidence to kind of reimagine what you will become. So using that insight and knowledge from the first 2 concepts, you can then go about defining your ideal life, set realistic goals, assign reasonable action steps, and begin building the life that you truly desire. So think about what you really want to do. When do you want to achieve those goals? What will it take? How much money is going to be needed? For how long? The key to success in this step is to overcome our built-in tendency to procrastinate and overestimate our situation. You need to create a specific vision of your ideal life and a detailed roadmap to achieving it. And the fourth key factor is to get more life from your money. Remember, it's not all about the numbers, like I said. The true key to long-term financial success is continual adaptation and improvement. Life is always challenging us to change, and you must remain an active participant in your life. So keeping your life in the ideal zone, it's going to take some work. Fortunately, by working through the previous 3 steps, you'll be very well positioned to stay on top of your life plan. And As your life changes, so will you, but only within the context of who you are, not what some financial rule of thumb says you should be. You'll be able to adapt and adjust based on your values and goals. And if life requires you to do a reset and make drastic changes, the odds of you coming through that in good shape are much, much higher. So the goal with working through these 4 factors is to help you begin living your life by design rather than by default. So this is the first of a number of videos we will be doing on the concepts we've talked about here. So be sure to subscribe and give that thumbs up, that like button, a little nudge to stay in the loop and help us help others. Also, if you want to get a start meeting your obligations by working on building that emergency fund, check out this video up here to learn about how to determine the right emergency fund for you. And also, check the description below for a list of suggested reading and some tools to help you to begin to gain control of your money so you can live life better. That's it for this one. Take care, everyone, and we will see you in the next one.